Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So, we have a good one today. So, I have to ask how many of you have ever been told that your iron or ferritin was low? Maybe you've been tired. Maybe you're losing hair. Maybe you get winded walking up the stairs. Maybe your doctor simply told you take an iron supplement and sent you on your way. So here's what I want to talk to you about today. What if your iron isn't low because you're not eating enough iron, but what if the real problem is your gut? Because I see this all of the time. Now, first, let's start with what iron actually does. Iron is kind of like oxygen's Uber driver. Its job is to pick up oxygen from your lungs and deliver it to every single cell in your body. So, if you don't have enough iron, your cells don't get enough oxygen. And when your cells don't get enough oxygen, then everything starts slowing down. You feel exhausted. You can't think clearly. You don't recover well from workouts. You feel weak. You may even feel anxious because your body literally isn't getting the oxygen that it needs. Now, here's what most people think. When someone finds out that they have low iron, they usually think, I need to eat more steak, or I need a bit bigger, better iron supplement. Sometimes that's true, but many times that's not actually the problem. I like to think about iron like ordering a package online. Imagine Amazon delivers your package right to your front porch. I mean, that's the joy of Amazon, right? The package arrived, but if your front door is locked, you never actually get what's inside the package. So, eating iron is like Amazon delivering the package, and your digestive system is the front door. So, if your gut isn't working well, then that package just sits outside. So it doesn't matter how many more packages Amazon brings, you're still not getting what's inside. Now, let's talk about some of the gut problems that I see that contribute to low iron. Now, the first one is low stomach acid. This is probably the biggest one that I see. And most people think stomach acid is bad, and actually, you need stomach acid. Stomach acid helps break iron loose from your food so that your body can absorb it. So think about trying to peel glue off of a sticker without something strong enough. It stays stuck. Iron works the same way. So without enough stomach acid, your body can't separate the iron from your food very well. Now, let's talk about signs that may indicate that you have low stomach acid. You feel really full after eating, you burp a lot, protein feels heavy, you may have reflux, you feel bloated after meals, and ironically, most people with acid reflux actually have too little stomach acid and not too much acid. Now, the second gut problem that I see is gut inflammation. Now, let's say your stomach acid is working. Iron still has another obstacle, your small intestine. And this is where iron gets absorbed. So I like to compare your small intestine to like shag carpet. Years ago, everybody had that thick carpet with lots of fibers. Those fibers create a huge surface area. So your intestine basically works the same way. It has millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. So they're like tiny little hands reaching out to grab nutrients. Now, imagine that carpet gets burned flat. So there's a lot less surface area, and your gut basically works exactly the same way. So if inflammation damages those villi, then there's less area to absorb nutrients. So even if you're eating plenty of iron. Now, the third gut problem that I see often is H. pylori. So, this is one of my favorite things to teach because almost nobody talks about it. H. pylori is a bacteria that lives in the stomach. It can reduce stomach acid, it can inflame the stomach lining, and it can interfere with iron absorption. I've had clients whose ferritin wouldn't budge for years. They took iron supplement after iron supplement and nothing changed. And when we addressed the H. pylori, suddenly their ferritin started climbing. Now, the fourth gut problem that I usually see is SIBO, which is small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. So, if you have SIBO, your small intestine isn't functioning normally. There's inflammation, there's competition for nutrients, your gut lining isn't healthy, and even though SIBO doesn't literally steal your iron like people sometimes imagine, the environment it creates makes it much harder for your body to absorb nutrients effectively. Now, the fifth gut problem that I see that interferes with iron is leaky gut. So, you want to think of your intestinal lining like a coffee filter. It's supposed to let the good stuff through while keeping the bad stuff out. When the filter develops holes, then things start leaking that shouldn't. So your immune system gets activated, inflammation goes up, and your body becomes much less efficient at absorbing nutrients, including, guess what? Iron. Now, sometimes it isn't absorption issue. Sometimes you're actually losing iron faster than you can replace it. You might be experiencing heavy periods, bleeding hemorrhoids, ulcers, even frequent blood donation can contribute. So it's important to ask, are we not absorbing iron or are we losing iron? Those are two completely different situations. Now, this is another thing I wish more women knew. Many women are told your iron is normal, but then I look at their ferritin, and ferritin is basically your stored iron. Think of ferritin as your savings account. Your hemoglobin is literally your checking account. Your body will spend every dollar in savings before your checking account starts to look low. So by the time your iron shows up low on a routine blood test, your savings account may have already been drained for months or even years. So now let's talk about why supplements don't always work. So this is why some women can take iron for 6 months or more and their ferritin barely changes. It's not because the supplement is bad, it's because we never fixed the reason the iron that the body could not properly absorb the iron in the first place. It's essentially like pouring more water into a bucket and that bucket's got a big old hole in the bottom. The answer isn't always more water. Sometimes you got to fix the bucket. When I work with clients, I'm always asking, why is your iron low? Why isn't it improving? Why is your ferritin dropping? Is it stomach acid? Is it H. pylori? Is it gut inflammation? Is it SIBO? Is it celiac disease or another condition affecting the small intestine? Is there ongoing blood loss? Because until we answer the why, we're just guessing. So if you've been struggling with fatigue, hair loss, brain fog, cold hands and feet, poor exercise recovery, or if you've been taking iron and it's just not helping, don't assume the answer is simply taking more iron. Because sometimes your body isn't asking for more iron. Sometimes it's asking for a healthier gut. And that's why I always say we have to stop chasing symptoms and start looking for the root cause. Now, if this sounds familiar, drop the word iron in the comments or send me a message. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction and help you figure out whether your gut could be playing a role or not.